So those are the 7 magic that Sonia told you. Of course, they are. This name was a name that she created to fix it in your mind. But the 7 magic are the journalistic lead. Okay, so people in communication school, they learn this. And if you get any newspaper, any news in any printed newspaper, the first paragraph usually has everything that you are seeing here. Okay, because the reader must know on the first paragraph either that news interested him or not. Okay. So I'll show you a little text, and I will read with you, and I want you to see if you can find that 7 magic in the text. Okay. So I'll read just to keep control of the time. In 1905, there suddenly appeared the man whose name has become synonymous with scientific genius, Albert Einstein. Aged 26 and working a humble job in the Zurich patent office, he produced 3 of the most breathtaking papers that physicists had ever seen. First, he showed that Brownian motion was proof of the existence of atoms. Then, he showed that light was composed of particles. Finally, he produced the special theory of relativity. Each time, he produced a dazzling clever solution to a well-known problem, simply by arguing from first principles. Each paper covers just one side of a page, and cites no earlier references. They are among the most extraordinary intellectual achievements of all times. Okay, so I ask you, where are the 7 magics here? Okay, better. Sorry. What is the first information that you can see in this text? Very good. Usually we do this exercise without introducing you to the 7 magic, okay? But it's good that you got it. So the first information that this text gives us is that when. Many people say, for example, Einstein. Okay, Einstein is in the end of the second sentence. Probably is not the right answer, because you already read almost 2 sentences before you arrive to that information. Okay, so if it's really the first information, then it's not a good text. Okay, because you already lost. You probably lost even your reader if you're not giving him anything interesting in the first sentence. Okay. What else? What is the second information in the text? Good, very good. So Einstein. Third information. Where? And this, for my students that have seen this text in Portuguese many times, in the Portuguese translation we don't have the where. They don't say where Einstein was working. Okay? So, but here we have where. And where, in the narrative model, you have 2 kinds of where. Okay? So we have general places and we have locations. Okay? And here we have both, because they are saying it's in Zurich and it's in the patent office. Okay, so this is, Zurich should be the where, and the patent office is a location. It's a location where something happens. Okay? What else? And what is the what? Be more precise, 3 papers. What else? What is the how? Speak up. there another how? Anyone else than Larissa has an opinion? Is there any other how? Is clever solution a how? How did he prepare the papers? Yes, I know that you know. I want to see if they know. No, that's the where and not the how. One side of a page. Anything else? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 of the 7 magic. What's not in this text? Is there any why? Any what for? No, there is not. Okay. What is interesting here? And what is this text about? Very good, scientific genius. Okay? This short paragraph, the intention of it is to show that Einstein was a genius. Which are the quotes in the text that suggests Einstein's geniality? Okay, the three hows suggests geniality. What else? Things that are not in the 7. Yes. So breathtaking. All these adjectives are suggesting that those were, important achievements. What else? Yes, the 3 hows they suggest, but we have more elements in the text suggesting geniality. Age 26, of course, he was very young when he did that. Okay, and even the there suddenly, it's important because no one knew him. He simply came out of this patent office with these 3 amazing papers, and all these are signs of geniality. Okay, what is interesting here that you must notice is that the author of this text is giving you his opinion. Okay, so when he puts lots of adjectives, it's his opinion. You don't have to agree with him that they are among the most extraordinary, that they are dazzling, that they are breathtaking, and that Einstein is a genius, is a synonymous with genius. Okay. But he does not only give you opinions, he gives you also facts to support his opinions. Okay? So he gives you the age of Einstein, he tells you that he was unknown, he tells you that he was working in a humble job, he tells you which were the papers that he produced, that it was well-known problems without a solution. Okay? And he tells you how he gave the answer. Okay? So you are allowed to give your opinions in your work, but you have to give the facts that is going to support your opinion, or that is going to allow people to disagree with you. This is a good text. The ones that your opinions are there, because it's important to speak up, to show yourself in your text, but you must give the data. It's like Stephen said also on the first day, there was no data. It's very easy for a scientist to go say, okay, we can, repair spinal cord injuries using stem cells and give no data. Okay, so you always have to give the data. And what else is important here? What else can you tell me about this text? It's short. Thank you, John. So this text is 117 words. You know what's 117 words? It's less than the average size of an abstract for a conference. In less than half the size of an abstract for a scientific conference, they say, the author tells you when, who, where, what, and 3 hows. So please don't give me an excuse that 250 words are not enough to write your abstract, or that 10 minutes is not enough to present your data. It is. It's just that you are not selecting the information properly. Okay? So I promised on the first day that I was going to explain the difference between why and what for. Can anyone give me a hint? Oh, okay. So, okay. It's an answer for a different question. Huh? That's not what I asked. But see, let me ask you first another question, and then we come back to that. It is important to have why and what for in this text.
What would you say yes?
To say yes for what?
To have this why and what for?
No, and the fact is, it's very hard to believe in the why. Okay, why Einstein decided to solve these problems? Maybe there's no reason, and actually we don't need a reason. Okay, they might have he had, of course, his own reasons to try to solve these problems. The thing is, for the information that the author wants to communicate, it doesn't matter why. Okay? And of course, it doesn't matter what for. Well, what for they are going to use the solution of these problems, probably that was not one of the concerns of Einstein. Einstein is pretty much on that quadrant that we talked about, of the Pasteur quadrant. Okay, he is much more in the Niels Bohr quadrant, thinking of, he wanted the knowledge for the knowledge itself. Okay, of course he helped to build many practical applications in the quantum theory and things like that, but in the beginning he probably didn't have a what for.
It's important to say that we didn't find this alone. We have a French guy, astronomy guy, that had the question, and then Einstein had the theory, and then together they approved that.
Yes, of course, like Newton said, he was standing in the shoulder of giants. So a lot of people produced information before that was important for Einstein to use.
Because Einstein was good to have theories, but he didn't show this, so he had this help. Another scientist helped him to prove that.
The prosaic, the less interesting reason to pursue one of these was to try to explain what was called the photovoltaic effect. And that led to the discovery that light was articulate as well as moving.
So there was probably lots of reasons for it, but they are not important to characterize his scientific genius. Okay? So that's why they are not in the text. So if something is not important to answer your problem, don't put it. Okay? It's a waste of paper.